Welcome. I'm Stacey Ennis, author, editor, and speaker, as well as blogger at staceennis.com, and I'm joined today by Doug Copsey, who is the president of the Idaho Writers Guild and one of the project directors for the Idaho Writers and Readers Rendezvous, which is coming up next week. So welcome, Doug.
It is next week. It's scary, but that's true.
Well, thanks so much for being here.
You betcha.
So I was involved in the Rendezvous last year, but my daughter was only a couple of months old, and so I only popped in and out for a couple of the sessions and did some manuscript reviews. And,
yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and this year I'm going to be on an editing panel on May 3rd at 9 a.m., which I'm looking forward to, and also doing some manuscript reviews. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's going to be good. You and our other editor coming in this year is Elizabeth Day, who's out of Todos Santos, Mexico, which sounds intriguing. She is among other clients, A.K. Turner, one of our local humor authors, who will also be presenting at the Rendezvous. Elizabeth is her editor, so
great.
There's connections all the way around.
Yeah, I've gotten to communicate with Elizabeth a little bit over email, and she just seems great.
Yeah, I have yet to meet her, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting her in person.
Yeah.
So I thought today would be a great opportunity to talk about the Rendezvous. You can maybe give our viewers a little bit of an overview of what it is and what they could expect to get from it.
Sure. It's a 3-day writers conference, basically, and it follows the format of a whole lot of other writers conferences across the country. This is the third year that IWG has produced this event, and it's been a real good success every year so far, and we're looking forward to another one this year. Registrations have been going well, and in fact, a few more came in today. So
great.
You know how everybody waits till the last minute, but that's okay. As long as they register, we're happy.
What kind of feedback did you get last year?
We've had great feedback both years from people who've attended, also from granting organizations who have funded us, who send evaluators. Our evaluations have been top-notch both years, and so we just sort of figured if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and we just keep doing the same thing, bring in a new cast of characters every year to give presentations, and people who are writers in this area and around a greater region also like to come and learn more about their craft and get inspired and get motivated and get writing.
Great. Well, can you tell me a little bit about some of the speakers you're really excited about this year and any other events that are happening?
Sure. In addition to you and Elizabeth as editors, we're bringing in 3 literary agents. Paul Levine out of L.A. With Paul S. Levine Literary Agency. He's his own agent there. He deals with a lot of different genres and everything fiction, nonfiction, pretty much across the board. We have a lady named Pooja Menon coming in. She's with the Kimberly Cameron Agency in San Francisco. She represents fiction and nonfiction for both young adult and for adult markets. And then we have, I lost her name here. I'm reading my notes, excuse me. But we'll get there. The other agent who's coming in. Wow, Nefel Tempest, that's who it is. She represents literary, commercial fiction, women's fiction, and fantasy and young adult, among others, for the Knight Agency in Los Angeles. So 3 top-notch literary agents coming in. In addition to a host of authors, I mentioned A.K. Turner, Joanne Pence will be presenting. Jennifer Boise Centre, who used to be a publisher in New York for many, many years, is retired now, but she gives great workshops on the inner workings of the publishing industry and how to, some tricks of the trade, how to get connected and how to move forward in the publishing industry. She'll be doing a couple of great talks. Our key authors this year are starting with our keynote speaker, Ron Powers. Ron won a Pulitzer Prize for journalism back in the 70s, but he's probably best known for his 2 biographies of Mark Twain. He calls himself the second most famous author from Hannibal, Missouri, which is where he was raised, and that's kind of fun. But Ron has just a huge wealth of knowledge about writing literary fiction and that sort of thing, and literary nonfiction as well. So he's going to be great. He's giving a couple presentations, one of which will be our awards banquet keynote address. A local guy, Daniel Orozco, not really local, but Moscow, University of Idaho, was the 2012 Whiting Award winner. His book, his short story book, Orientation and Other Stories, has appeared in a host of things, the Best American Essays, Best American Mystery Stories, and Pushcart Prize, those kinds of things. So we're really looking forward to having him down. It's always great when we can spread the wealth around the state and bring in people from different parts of the state as well. And that's what it keeps it a little bit local, but then we spread it out nationally. Our third, what we call key author, I guess, is C.G. Ware. C.G.'s out of she's a New York Times and USA Today best-selling novelist, an Emmy Award-winning television producer, and reporter, writer. She's a lecturer for the last 2 decades, has worked as an on-air commentator for ABC and PBS, among a lot of others. She's written for a ton of different magazines, Travel and Leisure, New World, et cetera, et cetera. She has 6 historical novels to her credit, 2 contemporary works of fiction, and as well as nonfiction books. Her one that she's pushing right now, Joint Custody, Making Shared Parenting Work. So we'll see how that goes. And Right Sizing Your Life is another one of hers. She's done just a ton of stuff. The historical fiction is the one that at least interests me the most, but she's got such a broad wealth of knowledge that I think she'll appeal to pretty much everybody coming to the Rendezvous. These authors will not just be doing presentations during the event. CG will be giving a First Thursday reading next Thursday night at Rediscovered Books. That's open to the public, obviously. And then Daniel Orozco will be our Friday night reading in the auditorium at the Boise Centre, another event that's open to the public. It's free. Come on down, even if you're not registered for the conference. People can come and hear Daniel's reading and talk to Daniel. And then, as I said, Ron will be our keynote Saturday night at the banquet. But there are just, I don't know how I could go on and on. How long do you want me to go?
No, this is great. It's, Boise is a great city, but we don't often have the opportunity to rub shoulders with people of that caliber. So the fact that you're just bringing them all together in a few days and people get the opportunity to interact, that's phenomenal.
Well, that's the whole purpose of the Rendezvous, and it's one of the reasons we started the Writers Guild. Initially, it was to bring local writers together, to talk to one another, to network, to motivate and inspire each other. Mm-hmm. And then after 3 years, we just decided we needed something bigger, and the Rendezvous idea came actually from an old Idaho Writers Rendezvous idea from 20 years back that Clay Morgan put together, and it used to be held in McCall every year. It was a smaller scale event than this, but it was just sort of a weekend get-together for writers. And we decided to grow it into something bigger with an eye toward making this a major regional writers conference every year here in Boise, and try to bring not only authors from around the country, but writers from around the country to come and take advantage of the collection of people we're bringing in.
So I did want to give a little plug for the Idaho Writers Guild, because the annual membership fee is $25, and right, you end up getting basically 10 or 20-fold what you put into it with all the events and the networking and all the things you can learn.
We love the networking part. I mean, that's kind of why the Writers Guild got started, was to bring writers together to get to know one another, get out from behind the desk, mm-hmm, and be a little social. I find it really motivational and inspirational to talk with other writers. It doesn't matter what they're writing. We're all trying to tell a story, whatever genre, whatever medium, whatever we're doing. We're trying to tell a story, and we're working with words. And so that's just great for people to get together and talk. You never know when you're going to pick up something from somebody totally unexpected that is going to make you go, oh, that's what I need to do to fix that one thing I was working on, or something like that. It's just really gratifying to see writers getting together at like our monthly lunch or our bi-monthly back talk sessions, and communicating with each other and sharing ideas and sharing what they're doing, which can motivate somebody else with what they're doing. So mm-hmm, it's just a great communal kind of a thing.
Yeah, well, and so there's that, and then also the resources you provide. So I know that some authors will be looking for editor, for example, and you have lists of people that you can refer them to, and that just cuts out so much time and the weeding process, since you guys require the editors to send in their resumes, and it's just a huge resource for authors locally.
Well, yeah, and I hope for the editors and other people as well too. We like to. Our goal is to help writers get published, move their careers forward, whether they're want a full-time career or whether it's a part-time career. It doesn't matter. If they want to move forward in their writing, then we want to provide the tools to help them do that as much as we can. And so that's hence the events, hence our resource lists and those kinds of things.
Yeah, well, you guys are doing a great job with it.
Thank you.
So back to the Rendezvous, what is kind of the number one thing you want people to know about the event?
I think that it's just a really great event for writers. We call it the Idaho Writers and Readers Rendezvous, but I think it's primarily for writers. Obviously, we talk about the craft of writing a lot, but people who read, who aren't writers, who just love to read books, can come to something like this and see a favorite author, see an author that is there to talk about the kind of writing that they read, that they enjoy, and be inspired to maybe find a new author that they didn't know about, or just enjoy what people have to say about the art of telling stories. And I think that so that's basically what the Rendezvous is all about. Come together, motivate yourself, be inspired, improve your writing, get some new ideas of what to read, whether it's just for enjoyment or to improve your writing, and just have a great weekend with folks. 3 days, 2.5 actually. Starts noon Thursday, runs through Saturday night, and it's chock full of classes.
Yeah, it's got a great packed schedule for sure.
Yeah.
So it's coming up next week. It's May 1st through 3rd, and can you tell people how late can they register and where can they get more information?
They can get more information at IdahoRendezvous.com. That's got all the details. It will take you right to Eventbrite, which is handling the registrations, by just clicking on the little register icon. And it's got the full schedule, the full list of the faculty with all their bios. It's got a full list of all the available things. You can just register for the conference, or you can also pick some of our a la carte items, like a 10-minute pitch with an agent, lunch with one of the presenters. There's still some slots open for both of those. The manuscript evaluation from editors, as you know, is now closed. You don't need any more of those. For this go around, but that's something. Saturday night we had a big writing contest that we inaugurated during last November. I think we announced that, and we had a ton of entries come in for that. We'll be giving awards to the winners on Saturday night at our banquet for that. So there's just lots to do, lots to see, some great talks to be heard, and the readings, of course, on Thursday, Friday night are going to be super from these guys.
And people can register day of either Friday or Saturday, correct?
Absolutely. We do have a Saturday-only option. So if you're working a job and you just can't get away Thursday, Friday, come down and register for Saturday only. And we're taking registrations right at the registration desk. If you want to walk in, not a problem. We're happy to have you whenever you get there.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Doug. It's been a pleasure talking with you. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week at the Rendezvous.
Great, Stacy. Thanks very much. Great to talk to you.
Yeah, you too.